What's going on, y'all? This your girl Tricuria coming with another video live and direct from Dakar, Senegal, y'all. I have been living on the continent of Africa for 3 years. Yes, 3 ans. Okay, French. Okay, French. Clock it. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. If you're new here, my name is Tricuria. Try for short. Try to remember, and we about to go ahead and get into it. So, 3 years ago, y'all, I packed my bags. I literally had one check-in bag, one carry-on, and my backpack. Like, that's it. And I literally came to I came to actually Chess first. I was in Chess for 3 months prior to moving to the city of Dakar. So I was in like the village. But it was such a humbling experience. And I just want to share with you all because I'm celebrating now living here for 3 years. July 6th made 3 years now living on the continent of Africa. And I'm so abundantly grateful, eternally grateful, because it's like, when you have that vision, you have that dream, you have that seed that's planted inside of you, and to water it, to nurture it, and then you see it grow. Like you literally see the fruits of your labor. It's just so fulfilling and so rewarding. So this video is to inform you, encourage you, and to enlighten you on my journey living in Senegal, West Africa for now 3 years. So let's go ahead and jump right into part one, the culture shock that I really didn't expect. So, first and foremost, I spoke about this before, but the idea of Teranga here in Senegal is unmatched. It's Teranga means hospitality in Wolof, and they take it to a whole nother level. It's not just about like, okay, hospitality service when you go out to restaurants or hotels or whatever it may be, or establishments, but more so Teranga in family orientation and how they welcome you and bring you in as their own. It's on a whole nother level. And that's one thing that was a culture shock to me in a sense, because in America, you know, we are so individualized, and we have to get back to that community orientation. And that's one thing that I really value here living on the continent, is the community perspective and bringing individuals together to essentially become a more dynamic powerhouse. So that was one thing that really was a shock to me, but was something that I truly appreciated. Y'all, next point, time is merely a suggestion. Like, that was another shock because I'm from the US. So, CP time or whatever like that, if you're familiar with it, y'all, it's just an extension. But, CP time, we might be 30, 45 minutes late, whatever. Y'all, African time, baby, it's on a whole nother level. Like, we talking about 2-3 hours. Like, you're like, what's really going on? Like, at this point, even my CP time ain't cutting it. Like, it's just merely a suggestion. Like, people will say, like, oh, we're gonna get together at 3. Um, and next thing you know, it's 7. And it's like, okay, everybody's just arriving, like right on time. So that was something that it was definitely an adjustment, because it was like, okay, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm doing something being like an hour late, hour and a half. Baby, no, it's they just getting set up. So that was something that was like, okay, it was more of a shock to me, like, because especially when you need to get things done, it can seem like just things are taking so long and it's so drawn out. But like, you really do learn patience, and that's one thing that has been a key component into why I have enjoyed being here, because it's like you learn how to slow down, you learn how to live in the moment, you learn how to be ever present, and knowing that things really will happen when they're supposed to happen, inshallah. So it just is what it is. And so you have to like adjust yourself and adjust your planning accordingly. Like if you want to get something done, you have to get it done way in advance so that it will be ready in time. And it might be ready the day of, but it's gonna be ready when you need it. And so for me it's just been like a learning. And I would say, y'all, next point for real, for real. The food, baby, the food will have you in a chokehold. Yes. Y'all, so when I say like I be abroad, like, dang, I want some chubby chin. Dang, I want some mafe. And it's like all rice based dishes. And so, rice, it sticks. And for me, if you know me, if you have been following me for a while, subscribe to my channel for a while, like it was really hard for me to hold weight. Like I was always like a workout girly, etc. Like sports active. When I came to Senegal, yeah, I gained some weight. Well, really, it's like I lived in Chess before, so I was in the village. So I got the real remote, like Senegalese, like introduction. And then when I came to the city, it was like, I'm discovering new restaurants, this, et cetera, So like I'm able to, enjoy some of the luxuries a little bit more. And y'all, when I tell y'all, this is the most weight I've ever had in my life. And it's been hard for me to keep weight, mind you. And like my family is very petite, etc. So like my genes are very petite. So for me it was like an experiment. Like, can I gain weight? Can I really actually gain weight? And I will say, with that, Senegal is the place I really feel like I became a woman. And it could just be because of like age, etc., crossing over, etc. But for me, I feel like Senegal really made me a woman. And I'm so appreciative of that because there were certain experiences and, you know, like just being maneuvered in a way of like when a diamond is being formed, it's under pressure. Like it's a pressure in a different sense. Like it's a pressure of the unknown. It's a pressure of, you know, being taken out your comfort zone and expanding. And when you expand, it's not easy, but to whom much is given, much is required. And like nothing worthwhile will ever be easy. So with that, you adapt and you essentially evolve. And that's the whole sense because for me it was like being in a new country really allowed me to go beyond the norm, go beyond my perspective, my scope. And like when they say like your eye opens, it really does open because you realize that people are living their whole different lives abroad. And however they may be, it still comes with its challenges, it still comes with its struggles, and it still comes with its beauty at the end of the day. And it's so, are you ready to take that on? It's like, are you ready to receive, but also are you ready to give? Because it comes with sacrifices as well. Y'all, so going into my third point, like the learning curve has been tremendous. Like most of you all know that I started learning Wolof and French when I landed. I took Spanish, I took Yoruba, I took Swahili, I learned some Igbo, I learned some Isikosa, I learned a little bit of Mandarin. I learned a little bit of various languages prior to Portuguese, etc. But like, being in the culture, you have to know just more than a little bit. Like, you know, how to give directions, how to tell your food, how to greet, how to argue or whatever. Like, you have to be able to state your point a little bit more in depth. And so I'm really like 3 years old in my language ability with French and Wolof. And so a lot of times it's like I feel like I should know more. I feel like I should like speak more, etc. Or like, you know, express myself more deeply. But I also have to remind myself, like, as a 3 year old, would you be expressing yourself this deeply? So um it really has been a learning curve for me, but it's been really good at the same time because it keeps me sharp. It keeps me, aware. It keeps me um, active mentally to be able to, continue to learn and expand my mind and expand my knowledge base. And so I would say if you're thinking about or have thought about moving abroad, like, think about where, because that's something that's so beautiful about the diaspora is that we're so eclectic. We're displaced everywhere. So we can adapt to different cultures. We can adapt to American culture. We can adapt to Brazilian, South American culture, Caribbean culture, Asian culture, European culture, like, because we are that essentially as well, because we have people there. And so learning languages has been something, as a language teacher, that I have fully embraced, but also it has humbled me in a sense, because I'm no when I say expert in speaking fluently in certain languages, but my expertise comes in being willing to learn and being open to share my knowledge in that. And so it's definitely been a learning curve for me. And I think, as well as like understanding different perspectives and backgrounds and culture has been a benefit of living abroad, because when you're in a metropolitan city, um you're able to be connected to so many different people and cultures, and it allows you to see that, like, the world is so much bigger than your locus, like your center where you are right now. The world is so much bigger, but at the same time we're so interconnected that you can literally be on one continent and interconnect because of how we are as humans. And so also living on the continent made me realize that, like, even though we are all around the world, um, we are able to still be connected while we're abroad. And that's beautiful. And that's a thing that has made me realize, like, travel is super important. And like, just expanding, like, just even your eyesight, like what you have seen in life, what you have experienced in life, will truly be a blessing to you. And it's such a blessing also for me to be able to share with you my journey. So, y'all, this leads me into my next point. So, I know y'all heard about the lady on TikTok that was going viral because she like moved to a West African country and they have none of her snacks that she used to, and she was just like talking about like all the discrepancies, like if you move about. And mind you, like, I never been a person that's like, yes, leave everything behind, move abroad. I just knew that it was something that I needed to experience and do and be successful at, so that when the time came, my life could be an example that yes, it can happen if that's what you so desire. And so things that people do not warn you about, Y'all, when when it comes to systems like in efficiency, we might be used to a certain different level of a system efficiency and getting things done. And I would say like things really do take time here. Like you might want something right then and there, but like because they gotta call this person, and they might say they coming on jeudi and they really don't come to samedi, and like they might say they coming Thursday, but they really don't come on Saturday. You're just like, okay, well, that's cool. I had stuff to do, but yeah, we're gonna make that work. And so it's just coming to the realization like things are may not be in the efficiency as we're used to, and adjusting to that, especially when you have deadlines, etc., to meet, and also navigating like just having to go through the loops and hoops. And for me, I went to an HBCU, so I think that I was exposed to being able to navigate systems, and whether that be in a sense of like getting things done efficiently, or also having to go through the hoops and loops, because it really prepared me for like life, because sometimes things will not just happen when you want it to, that instant gratification. Sometimes things take time, and you gotta build connections. You have to talk to this person, you have to know this person, that person has to know you. You have to do your leg work essentially. And I will say Senegal, they are very prideful here, and like to integrate into their culture, they're excited when people are learning, etc., and want to be a part. However, you gonna have to like prove yourself, and that's many African countries and West African countries. It's like, who are you really? And so that's always the biggest question, and the main thing is like, who are you really? What's your purpose? And what do you stand for at the end of the day? And now living in Western Africa for 3 years, I will say that that purpose is becoming clear, and it's being accepted on the continent, and that's a beautiful thing, because ultimately my goal is to bridge the gap between um, American culture and the African diaspora, and be able to build and to delegate essentially cross cultural communication, education, and development. So super exciting things ahead. And I would like to leave you all with just a little bonus tip, because uh, I feel like even though sometimes I have my points, I kind of still go on tangents a little bit. But if you are thinking about moving abroad, or just stepping out of your comfort zone, as I always say, make sure y'all plan. Make sure you prepare. Make sure you have savings, funding, and steady income in order to sustain yourself, and the right mindset. Let me add that too, because oftentimes we feel like, okay, we're gonna go abroad and integrate, and then many people come and it's like not what they expected. And so like just be open minded. Your mindset needs to shift, because it's not gonna be what you're used to. Like it's not the same. However, there is abundant possibilities and differences, and we realize that, again, we are all interconnected in some way, shape, or form. So be open minded in that perspective. So, anyways, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. This your girl Tricaria. I'm signing off. I hope that you got something from this video today. It was a pleasure to sit down and have a little chat with y'all, because it's been a little while, it's been a little minute. And if you are new, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I'm coming every Sunday with a new video, and Until next time, peace.